Here's how to stop blaming your child when you feel overwhelmed or triggered. Your child will never be to blame, ever, for why you are triggered and why you are overwhelmed. Parenthood is not to blame either. Actually, here's how to stop being codependent in general. Whoa, Michelle, codependency? How did we get there? Codependency, when my peace and my joy is dependent on what you say or you do, or when my peace and my joy is dependent on what my bank account looks like, or when my peace and my joy is dependent on what my child does or does not do. That's codependency. It's me waking up in the morning and basically, the most intense form of slavery that has been perpetuated for generation after generation after generation, which is I cannot feel peace and happiness unless life and parenthood and my children and my partner is all going the way that I want it to. Bondage, a trap. True freedom is taking accountability and responsibility for your own self-regulation and emotional regulation, and taking full accountability for your inner peace and your joy, and not letting your inner peace and joy be dependent on anything or anyone in this world. That's freedom. That's the kingdom. That's your birthright. When you take action and understand what I'm about to share, you will notice shifts in your life, and not just in your parenthood experience, but in your life not too long after. Okay? You gave birth to your child. They are learning from you. So can you see how it doesn't make any sense at all, truly, for us to be expecting them to kind of lead the way of operating emotionally intelligent, expecting our children not to hit and scream, expecting our children to do X, Y, Z, expecting our children to walk on eggshells or to do their best to not trigger us, expecting our children to regulate our emotions. Like, they came out of us. We gave birth to them. So expecting anything of them and blaming them for our life situation, life circumstances, for all that stuff, it's just a pattern of blame that's been passed down for many generations. That's all. It's just a pattern of blame. But parenthood and your child will never be to blame for how you feel and how your life unfolds. You are not to blame for your parents' current situation or for how their life unfolded and continues to unfold. Your emotional regulation is no one's responsibility. And you were not responsible as a child. It was never your responsibility to regulate your parents' emotions. Even if it looks like your child is to blame for why you feel how you feel or for your life circumstances, it's not possible for them to truly be to blame for anything. No one makes you react. No one makes you choose war over peace at any moment. An action step that, if you start it right now, can change your entire life is setting the intention to choose peace over war. It sounds cheesy, but when you think about it, like, look at how we've been conditioned and programmed. We've been programmed to go to an altar with another individual and to say vows to them, to marry them, to say, I promise for the rest of my life that I will blah, blah, blah. And that's all cool. That's really cool. But then when I present to you an idea to every day set an intention, make a vow to choose peace over war, before responding to your child, and before even only choosing to entertain peaceful thoughts, not thoughts of war and separation and negative self-talk and negative self-doubt. When I say make a vow every day to choose peace over war, then it sounds cheesy. But when we talk about going to an altar and making vows to another human being that we're going to do XYZ for them, for another human being, we're going to do all the things for them, it's no longer cheesy. It's like the ideal. That's what we all aspire to and think is like the peak thing, the peak experience of a lifetime, is to say vows to another human being. But to make a vow every day to choose peace over war within yourself and with those that you love is cheesy? No, we've been programmed and conditioned to believe it's cheesy. So starting today, make a commitment, make a vow every day, even multiple times throughout the day. Remind yourself of this vow and this commitment to choose peace over war, okay? Especially when you've chosen war. So you might get off this video, keep scrolling, and then you might get into an interaction with your child or whoever, and you might unconsciously react. And you might look back on it, and the old pattern is to sit in guilt and shame and be mean to yourself. No, remember, every now moment is a blank slate for you to choose peace or war. So you really want to also make sure you practice that with yourself in moments that you react. Make sure that you give yourself permission to choose peace still. What that can look like is unconditional forgiveness, unconditional compassion, unconditional love towards yourself. It's never-ending now moments that you have the ability to choose peace over war. Unconditional love. You are worthy of constantly choosing peace over and 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 over again. So yeah, a lot of us have this habit of blaming our children when we're overwhelmed and triggered, blaming them. So projecting the triggering sensation that comes up, spewing it onto them. You're the reason why I feel this way. And instead of taking all of that intense energy that comes up when we're triggered, instead of perpetuating the generational pattern of blame, it's like, sit with it, feel it, stay aware of it. You know what I mean? Stay aware of it, sit with it, allow it to pass, stay aware of the negative thoughts that come and go, allow it to pass. Let's stop blaming the non-custodial parent for not being around. Let's stop blaming the parents for why we were raised. Accept it, acknowledge it, go through your grief period, of course, respect that. But on a day-to-day basis, take your power back. Take accountability and responsibility for for the option you have in every moment to choose peace over war, and choose. Otherwise, you end up not taking action, not setting intentions to choose peace over war, and then you end up in this constant loop of apologizing and thinking that, well, at least I apologize every single time it happens, every single day. My parents never apologized to me, so apologizing must be evidence of change. But then you stay in this loop of constantly reacting unconsciously, apologizing, reacting the same way unconsciously, and apologizing. Yes, apologizing is a step up. It is pretty cool that we are at a place in our evolution where we are willing to humble ourselves and apologize to our children when we unconsciously react. But get to the root so that you find yourself in that cycle a lot less, because you are worthy of living life without suffering. Okay, so get to the root, choose peace over war more and more every day, and you will watch the pattern of blaming your children for being overwhelmed and triggered. You will watch that pattern dissolve more and more every day. I help parents rewire their inner world so that peace becomes their natural state, or rather so that they realize that peace is already their natural state. If you want to start that transformation, direct message me the word peace to receive my free guide, Guided by Grace, Transforming Parenthood Through Inner Peace. It is a game changer, particularly for those of you who are spanking 1 to 5 times per week, who have been trying to parent from your peace for many years now, gentle parenting, conscious parenting, but who are still looping the same cycles over and over and over again. DM me the word peace.